Good afternoon and welcome to Buzz. I'm Max Reynolds.
And I'm Martha White with your afternoon news. Today's headlines. 9 people have been arrested as part of an investigation into organised crime. We will be going behind the scenes of services for neurodivergent people in Bournemouth. And new research could change how Alzheimer's is diagnosed. 9 people have been arrested in Bournemouth on suspicion of organised crime, money laundering and drug offences. The investigation is ongoing, with premises in Bournemouth still being searched in relation to the incident. Detective Superintendent Emma Sweetser of Dorset Police said, "We know the significant impact that drugs can have on our local communities, and we will continue to do all we can to relentlessly pursue anyone suspected of being involved in this type of activity." Swans might be becoming the newest hotspot for bird flu in Dorset, with a reported rise in cases across the region. The south is no stranger to bird flu cases, but with swans migrating together during colder seasons, this could increase the risk of transmission of the flu. Dorset remains in the avian influenza prevention zone, meaning that groups of over 50 birds should be kept together inside. This week, Bournemouth have come together to support marginalised groups, as well as looking into what businesses are doing to support individuals. Our reporter Sabrina Lade and Riley Wallace went out to report.
Intersectionality Uprising is a protest movement supporting those in marginalised groups in Bournemouth.
The support can be seen in workplaces and community spaces, with a growing focus on understanding ways people think and experience the world.
Just last week, where we are standing now, locals used their voices to spread awareness on underrepresented groups, including disabled people.
Trans lives matter!
Trans lives matter!
Intersectionality Uprising, a group that campaigns for equal rights across all minority groups, have been marching in Bournemouth Town Centre. Protesters spoke on women's rights, LGBT issues and neurodivergency.
This week, we visited businesses where we explored the behind the scenes of programmes who help with self-development and employment for neurodiverse people.
The SAMI project started in 2016 with aims to support people with disabilities. Artist Tyler tells us his favourite things about the charity.
Number 1, digital art. Number 2, paying attention to the mentors who have more experience. Number 3, drinking coffee, of course. And number 4, of course, is taking more responsibility for your actions and what can be improved in life. Well, it has helped me gain a bit more knowledge about business, and they have helped me explore opportunities with new things and even helped progress some of most of our businesses and stuff like that. And what we're doing currently right now is learning about marketing down there as of now. And over the past few days, in the start of 2026, late before Christmas in 2025, we've learned about this thing called business appropriate behaviour, otherwise known as BABS, where we basically don't talk garbage about people and also to not gossip about people.
Mentorship is a key part in the project.
The interns that we work with are neurodivergent or have a disability, and we call them interns because we want them to get experiences in the workplace. But actually, all of them are doing an accredited course, which is called Steps to Self-Employment. So when you heard Tyler talking about budgeting and marketing and all of those sorts of things, that's what he's been learning when he's been here at SAMI. They have every month an appointment with a careers advisor. They also have an appointment once a month with a wellbeing person who can talk through confidentially any concerns that they have here or outside of here. And every week they have an appointment with a business mentor. So they help them to really shape their business and to move it in the right direction.
The charity has also received the Zero Project International Award 2025.
And, you know, Tyler and the other interns have got access to a sensory room. So if they feel overwhelmed in some way, then they can ask us to go, if they can go in there.
Well, I've definitely used it a bit more frequently in stress situations and stuff. Like, let's say pressure from some interns and stuff, or sometimes, or most of the time, I get, having all these demon thoughts all the time.
There are plans to expand and add a third year, further supporting the interns.
Another organisation supporting neurodivergent people is helping to bring improved access in different ways to give people support across Bournemouth.
The Census Project have created a new way of support and run many sessions which allow growth.
Well, you've got the ISP, which is the Independent Support Program, which is basically built around the client. Everything they kind of want to progress to, how they want to do, what they want to learn, which is always fantastic, especially when you find a client that doesn't actually know who they are and what they want to do, because they've quite a lot of neurodiverse people work very well with like mimicking the surroundings. So if you're always with your family, strange enough, you become quite similar to your family, or same as like if you're in supported living. So we developed the mentoring ISP to get them out of their shell, figure out what they want, figure out who they are, and then develop that from there. So obviously we got people going from there into volunteer work, or you got from there into paid work. We had one guy go into paid work, didn't like it because it went too much, and went back to volunteer work. I was like, dude, you give it a go. That's brilliant.
The team ensure there is a key focus for every client.
We'll work with someone to develop what we call the kind of core three. Their sense of identity, that sense of belonging, and that sense of purpose. They're the core three things that any human being needs. And that's what we work with our clients to build it for themselves, and to be able to carry that on.
Whilst the support is key, the outcome can be just as thrilling.
And I'm like, that's my favourite part. Taking something that someone would never do on their own and get them to the point where it's second nature to them. And they would never have done that without the Census Project. Epic.
3, 2, 1.
These changes are being shaped by neurodivergent voices themselves.
Whilst there's still more to do, these groups believe Bournemouth is becoming a town where differences are understood, valued and shared.
Riley Wallace
and Sabrina Lade,
Buzz News,
Bournemouth.
I'm here with Ira Lemon, who has dedicated her week to telling the stories of dementia patients across the region.
Hello, Max.
Hello, Ira. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, why did you choose this story?
Well, this Sunday the scientists released new research that suggests that there is a new way to diagnose Alzheimer's.
Oh, really? Do you know what that new research is, or?
Just with the testing finger prick, people could find out whether or not they're likely to have this disease.
Oh, wow, that's cutting edge. Did you find anything interesting during your research?
Well, yes. In the UK, there is 1 million of people with dementia, and in Christchurch is actually the capital of dementia in the UK.
Perfect. Now, would you introduce your story for us?
Yes, of course. So, as I mentioned, the UK population is aging, which means that the dementia rates are rising too. And this new research could mean that there is a way ahead of testing before it's too late. So I went and found out what it means for the local community. Every 3 minutes in the UK, someone develops dementia. A diagnosis that changes not only the life of the person affected, but of their entire family. Dementia is now the leading cause of death in the UK, affecting more than 1 million people and their loved ones. Here in Dorset, the effects of dementia are especially visible. The county has one of the oldest populations in England, with Christchurch being labelled Dementia Capital of the UK back in 2017. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia, accounting for around 2/3 of all diagnoses. Just a few miles away in Ringwood, one family has experienced the reality of Alzheimer's, a journey the son faced while watching his mother live with the disease. Kristen Mitchell was 74 when she was diagnosed.
The hardest thing is that you lose a little bit of that person almost every day or every week, and it just gradually creeps up on you. We first noticed a change in her behaviour a little bit. She would get confused with words, started mixing up people. It just progressed.
Scientists are now trialling new ways to diagnose Alzheimer's earlier, including a simple finger prick blood test. While still in development, researchers hope
it could one day reduce delays and improve lives of people affected by the disease.
Early diagnosis is definitely what everyone needs to be striving for. So there's a number of different issues that occur while people are waiting for diagnosis. And this can be because a lot of support only is triggered as soon as you get the diagnosis. So as soon as you get the diagnosis, you'll be triggered to, for example, the Dementia Coordination Service. You'll have more access to financial support. You're often signposted to in-community support.
At Modern Plus Adult Daycare Centre in Bournemouth, staff support people living with dementia and provide much-needed respite for carers, giving families a chance to rest while their loved ones are looked after.
I actually have a grandmother who's got dementia, and she's quite late on in the stages now, so I think my personal experience has made me want to help wherever I can and support carers as well, knowing how difficult that can be, because I can see the impact it has on my family. People are quite socially isolated before they're referred here, and we provide bathing facilities as well for people who may not have enough care at home. It really just gives them that stimulation to involve themselves in activities and trips out, so I'm trying to maintain their skills and independence.
Watching both his mother and aunt live with Alzheimer's inspired John to run a marathon for the Alzheimer's Society, a personal challenge for a cause that affects so many families.
My mum passed away at the end of November last year. My mum had a seizure. Went from very happy and smiley to basically in a almost a coma, really. But it became apparent that this was going to be the end.
Dementia is a deeply personal journey, one that affects individuals, families, and whole communities. And while research continues, supporting those living with dementia, locally and nationally, remains just as important as finding answers. Irina Lemon, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
Take a look at this. Over the 12 years, the investment map has been completely redrawn. While the S&P 500 and government bonds were once the gold standard for steady returns, they've been left in the dust by the metal themselves. Gold and silver have significantly outperformed major stock indexes and traditional bonds. But this isn't just a story for the history books of Wall Street. These record-breaking global prices are having a massive impact on our local economy right here in Bournemouth. As residents scramble to trade in family heirlooms for a historic windfall, our reporter George Nall went along to one local dealer to see the gold rush for himself.
For over a decade, we've been told that stocks and government bonds are the safest way to grow your money. But the data tells a different story. Since 2014, gold and silver have outperformed them both, surging to record highs. And here in Bournemouth, that global trend is hitting the local high street hard. I came to Cash Creators, where residents aren't just looking at the charts, they're cashing in their family history to beat the cost of living.
How much is that worth now?
£1,280.
How much was that worth 12 months ago?
Probably about £800. We have definitely bought more gold, I'd say, in the past year than we have in the past 3 or 4 years, yes. Every week we say, oh, we must, there can't be any gold left, the amount we bought, and yet it still comes in. We're buying more week on week. And it's all sorts of people as well. It's people that, that have had it handed down through generations. They've kept things like sovereigns and chains for years. When the sovereigns come in, they're dated, and we've seen some from like early 1800s that have just been passed through family to family. And now that the price is good, they can use that money to benefit themselves. Yeah, there are people that walk in that are expecting a couple of £100 and they're walking away with thousands of pounds.
While gold gets the glory, it's silver that's the real sleeper hit. Prices have nearly tripled in a year, turning forgotten silver tea sets and coins into a record-breaking investment craze that dealers can barely keep in stock.
I can tell you though, a year ago, I was selling 1 ounce for approximately £30, £35 on a deal. As of today, our 1 ounce silver coins are out for just over £100 for an ounce, which is absolutely massive, and that's in the space of a year.
As prices continue to defy gravity, Bournemouth's local gold rush shows no signs of slowing down. George Nall, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
This week, the Parks Foundation organised a walk which encouraged locals to go outdoors this winter. The event, which took place at Red Hill Park, helped the public to connect with nature. Martha White went along to find out more.
With winter in full swing and darker days affecting people's mood, local charities are encouraging residents to step outside and reconnect with their community. This Tuesday, just after Blue Monday, often described as the most depressing day of the year, the Parks Foundation organised a winter walk at Red Hill Park. The 2-hour walk gave people the chance to enjoy nature, meet new faces and take a break from staying indoors during the coldest months. Tal McMinn from the Parks Foundation organised the event.
So bringing people together, giving them an excuse to get outside in January is a big one, and creating new connections between people. It's a lonely time of year, and there's a lot of loneliness all year round in Bournemouth. So anything we can do to bring people together, point out nature, and bring some positivity into this quite moody month.
The walk wasn't just about exercise; it was about connection. Organisers say that winter can be one of the loneliest times of year, and that simple activities like walking and talking can help people feel less isolated.
It's important that they can see stuff in the calendar and have an excuse to come out, see what's happening in the park, meet some new people, and see that there is still wildlife, there is still life out there, even in January.
By showing that parks are still full of life in winter, Tal hopes more people will feel confident getting out of the house, meeting others, and taking small steps to protect their mental well-being. Martha White, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
A club in Boscombe is bringing those with learning difficulties and disabilities together. Teapot Drama meets weekly to offer acting and drama classes to the community. Martha White has the story.
In a community space in Boscombe, voices are being heard through acting, music and poetry. Teapot Drama is a club for adults with disabilities and learning differences, meeting weekly at the old schoolhouse. The sessions offer a relaxed, supportive environment where creativity comes first and confidence is built week by week. The focus isn't on performance, it's on participation.
Nobody sits in judgment. It's all about just what you can do, not what you can't do, really. We have loads of fun. That is the most important thing. We laugh a lot. And it's really a group for adults who perhaps don't get the opportunity to do this sort of thing elsewhere.
For members, the session offers routine, connection, and a space where people feel valued and listened to.
I think it's a big help, because I think if you didn't have drama or some kind of arts thing, I think it just makes you feel very low and very depressed. But when you do drama or whatever, something constructive, you got something to show that you did it.
As the group continues to grow, so does the sense of belonging. What started as a small idea is quickly becoming a supportive community, bringing people together through creativity and shared experience.
It is, as you can tell, it's bringing in new people today, and every time we do things, we do have lots of fun and laughter, and it's like a friendly family.
Teapot Drama is now actively looking for new members from across the Bournemouth area, welcoming anyone who wants to get involved. There's even talk of a Christmas performance later this year, as organisers hope to continue growing the group and creating opportunities for people to express themselves. Their aim is simple: to provide a welcoming space where everyone belongs. Martha White, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
Now we'll be handing over to Martha for more news.
Thanks, Max. Next Monday will mark 100 years since the first public demonstration of a mechanical television. Bournemouth University have taken steps to create a replica of the television to honour the anniversary. Our reporter Charlotte Spicer has the story.
What started out as a flicker of light on a disc has now evolved to become the TV we use in our everyday lives. Television as we know it offers high-quality entertainment. Starting out as a small shadow on a vinyl, John Logie Baird is the brains behind the world's first mechanical television. Monday the 26th of January marks the 100th anniversary of the first television, Gary Toms was a part of the team behind the reconstruction.
The reaction from the people up here has been quite incredible because it's so different to the television. I mean, we've all got high definition television now with fantastic quality, and people, when we first got it going, people were actually squinting to look at it to try and make a picture, almost like a little game. People found it quite fascinating. Yeah. It was, you know, it was quite a buzz to get it going. Possibly the appreciation for what it was, whereas it's second nature day to have this technology in your lounge. I mean, it must have been a big step in 1926 to be able to basically see a wireless signal, which is what it was then. It was a very low bandwidth signal to give you those sort of images. Fast enough.
To mark the occasion, Bournemouth University has replicated the system. Materials used for the recreation of the TV were made for components from the engineering lab, making it pretty much cost-free in the disc with light passing through to create a moving image. 100 years later, modern technology has changed drastically. Gary opens up on the challenges of recreating an important part of history.
All we had was the information of how the holes were laid out on the disc. We knew he had 30 holes in a spiral. The size of the disc doesn't really matter. It just depends how big an apparatus you want to build. A lot of people were using the old LPs, the old vinyl LPs, so we just picked a size and then worked the holes out, did the mathematics to work it out and built it to that basically.
The Scottish electrical engineer and innovator later went on to invent the first publicly demonstrated colour television system. Television as we know it today offers high quality entertainment at a push of a button. In 1928, Baird successfully transmitted a television picture from London to New York, marking one of the earliest across the Atlantic TV signals. Ian Barrard, the grandson of the man known as the father of television, spoke about what he believes his grandfather would think of television today.
One of them would be the picture quality. He was always working on improving the picture quality of television. So he would be very impressed with the 4K system. He wanted everybody to have television. He wanted it to be very democratic and everybody could afford to buy a TV set. And that was always there from when he started, that it should be an inexpensive thing, even if you have to build your own TV. So they made sure that there were kits available because a lot of people couldn't, during the Depression, they couldn't afford the TV set.
This landmark of television history serves as a reminder of how technology has evolved in the digital era. Charlotte Spicer, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
So you start and as it spins, the spiral grows.
A charity event in Bournemouth has exceeded its fundraising target. Participants dressed as penguins took part in a cold pool swim to raise money for Dorset Mind. Charlotte Spicer went along to find out more.
Staff at the Cumberland Hotel in Bournemouth have raised almost £500 for a mental health charity by taking on the Cold Plunge Challenge. The donations have made a bigger splash than expected, as originally the fundraising goal was £200. Dressed as 3 penguins, Abby, Lauren and Ed braved the icy waters in the hotel's outdoor swimming pool to raise money for Dorset Mind. The first time cold swimmers are hoping to raise awareness around mental health. I spoke to Abigail Pledger about the importance of the money raised.
Looking at how much we've raised, I'm actually quite proud of what we've done. So I think it means a lot for the local community to be able to contribute something.
The outside pool is currently colder than the sea, with water temperatures around 3 degrees. Cold water exposure is increasingly linked to improved mental well-being. Regular plunges have been shown to manage stress, reduce anxiety and lift mood effects. Dorset Mind is a charity doing vital work to improve mental health across the community. Abigail opens up on the decision to take the plunge.
Well, initially when we decided to do this, it was just for fun, and then one of our managers thought it would be a good idea to raise money for charity.
Donations help to provide essential support and guidance for those who need it most. The outside pool is open all year round for those who feel brave enough to take a dip. Charlotte Spicer, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
Libraries across Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole are offering vital signposting for their residents. Community Action Network, also known as CAN, connects those in need to services and resources. Our reporter Tori Turner has the story.
As you walk up to the first floor of Bournemouth Library, you'll instantly see CAN's community connectors. CAN is an umbrella infrastructure, meaning they help a range of community groups. One way they do this is through their 30+ leaflets.
It's doing everything authentically, but
It's really just assessing from the person. And sometimes it's more than just writing down a number. There needs to be that sort of genuine encouragement and to get them to engage. I find human stories really help, just letting them know maybe our experiences dealing with the people, just providing that extra incentive. Even if it's just letting someone know if they engage with some of the wellbeing service, they make great coffee, just something that's going to encourage them to engage. Because we know once they engage, there can be a lot of things that happen from them.
Whilst their connectors are inspired by people they help on a daily basis, the role can be emotionally taxing for them.
Lovely, lovely stories which I get encouraged every single day. But doing this in libraries, I think I'm more connecting to the local people, the people, like Martin said, genuinely who need help. They get attracted to us because they think there might be something that we might be able to help. One example I can give is definitely at a Castle Point library. This particular lady was really well told by the librarians, there's going to be an information stand, any questions, and she was in quite a problematic situation. She came, she described her, which was just a barrier of English. It was a very simple problem, but yeah, she got the resources, she emailed me back, and I was able to help her.
Information stations like the one shown can be found all year round at BCP libraries such as Castle Lane, Christchurch and the one in Bournemouth. Tori Turner, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
A book about Dorset MP Richard Drax's wealth origins has been published. Our reporter Connor Haddo spoke to the author.
Could I get a tall Americano, please?
Yeah, of course you can.
Cheers. In the UK, approximately 2.9 million tonnes of sugar is consumed a year. It averages around 11% of daily calories for adults. Last year, the UK sugar industry was expected to produce a revenue of £1 billion. But what if I told you it all started here, in East Dorset, back in the colonial era when the Drax family planted their first plantation in Barbados to export the first bits of sugar from the Caribbean. While we consume sugar every day, it's important to look at the origin of where it comes from. Journalist Dr. Paul Ashmore recently published a book about the origins of MP Richard Drax's wealth, from a plantation named Drax Hall, the first sugar plantation in Barbados. Today, I spoke to him about the influence of his investigation.
So it's developed into a very big story. Along the way, I was doing research and I kept coming across the historical record, and I realised that it was it was a classic landed gentry family, really very interesting. There's quite a lot of them in the southwest, but the family that we would reduce down to the simple name of Drax are more, came from different ways. So I centered this idea that the history of the family, as it was by ownership of Charborough House and Charborough Estate, was the way to tell the story, because you can tell the story of landed gentry and the role they played in British life. You then can quite simply then it explains the relationship with the colonies, because a lot of plantation owners were people from the landed gentry, one way or another. So this all came together, and I thought, this is a book. I just thought, this is a book.
Thank you for tuning into Buzz News.
Tune in for the sports at 4. Bye.